Arturia have released the latest and third version of their lineup of Keylab MIDI controllers. This is the Keylab 61 Mk3, which can control your DAW. It has deep integration with Arturia software, or you can create user presets to control anything you like. Connectivity is limited to MIDI, either USB-C or 5-pin DIN. The USB is also used for power, but you can use 12-volt DC if you're not connected to a computer or a power hub. This one's being connected to a USB hub without any issues whatsoever. The Mark III comes with a new high-quality synth action keyboard. This version is 5 octaves, but there's also a 4-octave 49-key version. We also get an attractive and very useful full-colour screen, which amongst other things gives us nice pretty pictures of any selected Arturia synths. It's got 4 banks of 12 velocity-sensitive RGB silicon pads. It's got transport controls for your DAW, and like the others in the range, it's got 9 faders and 9 knobs. These are touch-sensitive, so just by touching them, you can see what parameters you're controlling. On the left-hand side, as I said, we've got the pitch bend and the mod wheel. Above those, we've got octave selection and transpose. And then this is where we select the different banks for the pads. It's a little bit like you've basically got 4 octaves of control, 12 pads times 4. And opening up MIDI Control Center, we can set the functions of all the pads and all the sliders. So this is one, I'll show you in a minute what I've done here, but basically we can set up different MIDI CCs, MIDI channels, and types of control for all the faders and the pads and these contextual buttons as well. So we just select the controller, say what type of control it's going to be, the MIDI CC, set the controller value, MIDI channel, the active MIDI channel, and then select the max and the minimum values, and then we can rename it. Renaming it's actually quite a nice thing because it means that you can see what you're controlling on the keyboard itself. But send that to one of the user slots on the keyboard. And if we come over to the user controls on this, I'll select user profile, and there we can see SC filter, SC reso, and SC demo. And as we're looking at the software, it's well worth mentioning the bundled goodies. It comes with this, Arturia's Analog Lab Pro. It also comes with the Mini V Mini Moog emulation, their piano, augmented strings, and the plate reverb 140. So you got pretty much any sound you need to get yourself up and running. Analog Lab Pro alone is worth €199, and it comes with over 2,000 presets from the V collection. If you've never used this, it's well worth checking it out as a software package on its own. But do be aware that once you have it, you'll definitely decide you absolutely need the V collection as well, because that's brilliant, but it is like a gateway drug. And I've been using this with Logic. The first thing you need to do is download the mapping for your particular DAW. When you next launch your DAW, well, in Logic at least, you get asked if you want to use it. If we come into the control surfaces, I had to change this from MIDI to DAW to get it to work properly. But if we come to program on this now, we go to DAW, we're now controlling the DAW. So as I move the knob, I'm changing the different channels on the DAW. Come to the second one, for example. Play that, got a beat. But if we come back up to the first one, click on that, and now I'm editing this piano. So we can select different pianos. And each of these, as I say, does something different. I've opened up the advanced settings on there so you can see all the sort of mad stuff it's doing. Let's add the release time. What have we got there? Hammer noise. So loads of control, so 18 things you're controlling there. I think this one's mainly the master volume normally. So as we wiggle each of these, that's the mic position, dynamics, timbre, brightness, dry and wet reverb. So the integration's great. The Piano V, the Mini Moog V, all come with this. So I'd expect great integration. Let's load the Mini Moog V up and the Mini Moog. Really nice integration with this. But you can go and you can set it up however you like, as you saw earlier. And I'll do a little bit more of that in a second. Go back into control the door, and then we come back up to, let's come to this drum part here. Okay, so now that's opened up. So basically we've got 12 pads, which is 12 keys 4 times. So if we come up to here, as we're in door mode, we can play, we can mute it, we can also solo it, but there's nothing else playing, so you can't hear it doing anything there. And we can toggle record on or off. Let's just, so. We can also record that. Undo that. So pretty simple control over it, but it is control over your door. Let's move down to something else, shall we? Okay, this is cool. I'll open that. Now what I've got here is the GeForce OB1. So I've been creating a controller program for this. You saw a little bit of it earlier. We'll come back into here, make sure I'm on user 2. And we'll create something for this, but let's go into user 2. So we can see these buttons here on VCO1 and VCO2, the modulation routines. Also here I've got the mode going from 2 pass to 4 pass on the filter. And let's just set one up to show you what I've been doing. Let's set the LFO amount and the envelope amount on these two for the filter. That's these two knobs here. So come to this one. Let's put it onto 52. I don't think I'm using that for anything. And put this one on control. Let's put that onto 53. And then it's active, max value. We'll put that on 100. And 27. Same for this one. It's already set up. That was SC demo. Let's rename that to SC LFO filter. And let's rename this one to SC. I'm putting the SC there just so you can see it's not anything automatic. And filter. Send that to device memory user 2. And now when I hit these, SC LFO filter. Come into here then, I've got to set that CC value. So there we go, and there we go. This should work now. And it does, envelope amount. And I'll just show you can change the color of the pads as well. Color, custom, pink. And you can rename the pads as well. So if we look at this, I've renamed that one VCO1 frequency, this one VCO1 wave mod. You can't really see in this light, but if I use my phone, bring some shade in, you can just about see their different colors. It's quite a bright day here. It's a shame they don't go a lot brighter, but it is quite a sunny day here in the studio. At night, it's fine. So coming back down into door mode, let's go down to the next one. This is Analog Lab. Let's find the multi-timbral patch. Here we go, Astral Voices. We can start editing that multi on the controller itself. So bass, mid, treble, stuff like that. Go back into the keyboard settings, low key, high key, transpose. Put that back so it stays in tune. Octave. Split point of change there. Back into keyboard. Press keyboard and part 1. Oops, again. We can replace that sound with another sound. I've not showed the search function yet, so we can search for I don't know, let's search for electric pianos. So we're now searching for electric pianos on part 1. Let's have a median out. I'm still in split mode there. There we go. If we just come out of that screen there, I will show you the amount of integration we've got. Let's go to another sound completely. Let's go to this Prophet VS tone. In fact, let's get a nice pad again. I like a little pad. 2 Fairlights. Try this one. And each of these is now controlling what it says at the bottom of the screen. So a huge amount of interactivity between them. Let's find another fill string. What's this like? It's moving the joystick that you'd have on the VS, the X and the Y. But the amount of integration you get is really cool. I think that just about covers the integration with the computer, but now let's take a look at some of the little tricks it's got up its sleeve. We've got chord, scale and arp, and these are quite cool. Scale's what you might think scale is. We hold them and then release, we go to edit. So scale, we've got different scales in here. The root notes are shown in blue. And that's the same for the chord and the arp mode and stuff. So type, major, minor, lots of different types, or you can create your own. So we could have a user scale. Let's record a user scale. Let's take some notes out. And let's just have these 2 notes, shall we? Okay. Everything's in tune. Brilliant. Let's take scale off. Chord mode. This is not like your standard chord mode. There's some really nice little tricks in this. So if we come into this to edit it, it's off at the minute. We've got different chord modes. Let's turn it on. All the ones you might expect, and some you might not. Then we've got a user mode as well. We can select the user mode and let's record something. Let's just reset what I've got in there already. So create a chord. First note is going to be the root, and you can see it's blue. So okay. Just to show you, if we record that, let's reset it with say an E flat. We're now in E flat. So when I hit a C, I'm not going to hit that chord. I'm actually going to hit 1, 2, 3 notes down, something like that. Okay, so that's what I programmed in. But this is that. But let's put it back onto, I don't know, a minor 7th again. Okay, and it's nice that you can just hit anything, so you can have really big spans on those if you wanted. So that's what you might expect from a chord mode. Got this strum here. I don't know if you might have seen this before, but so it just strums the notes. Let's turn that off now and go to this next one. Oh, we've got different types there. So down. Put it back on up for now. And go to strum, take it off. Voicing. What voicing does, if you put voicing on, it now acts more natural. So these notes here are the same notes, but different inversions. And the first 3 chords are ones without the voicing on, and the second 3 chords are with the voicing on, so it's a bit more natural, a bit maybe like something that you might play as a pianist. but just gives you different options. Then we've got, let's take that voicing off for now. Whoops. And go into the bass, adds a bass, 1 octave below. Take it off. 2 octaves below, or 3. So if we put the inversions or the voicing on, and then bass. Cool, and now we've got this spread here, and this spread can add strums. So if we go to velocity, or aftertouch, makes it sound almost like I can play. Let's go to the strum as well, see what that does. So as the harder you press the aftertouch, I think that's really cool. For some nice lo-fi vibes. So that's chord mode and scale. Now we'll go to ARP. We'll take all this off, shall we? Let's take the spread off, because I'll leave the chord on to show you that here. Still playing the chords. So the ARP on. Starts playing the chords. Take that off. So we'll leave it like that for now. If we click and hold, then release, we're now in edit mode. We've got it on up, division, let's make it a little bit faster. Change the gate. Up to 200%. Change the octave. Swing, obviously. But we've got this nice randomization thing on here. If we go to randomization, we can change the amount of randomization on things. Randomize the trigger if it skips a step. If you've got a ratchet on there, change the velocity, change the gate, change the octave. So it's changing all the time. Different things there. Let's put that a little bit quicker so we can hear things a bit faster. Go to 16ths. Okay. Just some mad stuff, but nice that it's there. Really interesting things to play with. I've been playing with it earlier, and every now and then you come up with something that's great. So I'd suggest if you're playing around with that, just record everything that it sends out, or everything that it plays is sent by MIDI anyway. So I think that just about covers all the main functions of it. Other things that people ask about on all these, about the Keybed and what the Keybed feels like. And it is a nice Keybed. This is upgraded from the last version. It's a synth Keybed. So it's not weighted in any way, it's sort of semi-weighted. And the way you tell a really nice, easily playable keyboard is that as you get up to here, it's the same pressure required to push it down as it is on the end. And that really depends on where it's hinged up here. So a piano, for example, because it's got a big, long, weighted action on it, it might be back there somewhere. So when you're hitting it there or there, it's the same. But if you're doing really jazzy pianos, bits and bobs, and you need to get up there, it makes it easier to play if this is lighter. And it's not bad. I mean, it's definitely not the same, but it's pretty good actually. I've got a Pro 1, and on the Pro 1 I changed the old keyboards to a new Fatar keyboard, and it feels a lot better to play, but it's a lot shorter. So it's a bit of a compromise, but I wouldn't play this and think, oh, this is really difficult to play. Feels great. that's more than fine. So decent compromise, keeping things nice and compact, but with a really decent feel. It's not got poly aftertouch, so look elsewhere if that's what you're after. And overall, it's a nice size package for a 5-octave keyboard. As I said earlier, it fits on just a little bit wider than a Prophet 6 or an Obi 6, about 2 keys wider, but you've got a whole octave. And as I say, I don't mind these being over here above the keys at all. If there's one thing I have noticed about it, it's the resistance of these potentiometers. It might sound like an odd thing, but they're almost a bit too stiff. You want to wiggle something quickly, it's not easy. So if you want to do something quickly or with your cutoff, for example, set it for a slider, because it's just a little bit awkward to do that on this. But that's a very minor point. It's easily overcomable, as I say, by just changing the controllers around. One thing that would be nice, but you don't get on any of these things, is SysX, so that I could control something like my Alpha Juno or JX3P with it. Nothing does it. I don't know why. Maybe it's just not commercially viable because there's about 3 people in the world that would want that. Just a shame that nothing does. Bit weird. I don't know why that is. But overall, the integration with Arturia software is great. It is just like having an Astrolab if you're okay to take your computer with you. Although for deep editing, anything like changing the instruments in the mults and stuff like that, I'd probably just go back to the computer anyway. You can do it on this, but I just find it's easier to do it on a computer. And if you've got the computer next to you, why not do it on that? But generally, if this is on the other side of the studio, you can do anything like that. I think its main competitor is its own Essentials range. They don't have a colour screen like this nice pretty little thing in the middle. It is really nice. That makes a big difference. I don't know why. And they've got 8 pads, not 12. They do have the same pots, or at least they feel the same, and the faders feel the same, but on the Mark III they're about 1.5 times the length as they are on the Essentials. Also, the Essentials range doesn't have the MIDI in, the expression pedal, the OGs in, or the on-off switch on the back. And I can't comment really on the Essentials keybeds because, as I say, I've got the 88 key version, and that's more like a sort of pretend piano keyboard. It's a lot thicker at the bottom, and it's just got a slightly different action than this. So I don't think the 61 and the 49 Mark IIs have the same keyboard as the 88, because, as I say, that's much more a piano player's style thing. And this doesn't have the aluminium body that the original did. It's a plastic body. It doesn't bother me in the slightest, but if you were expecting an aluminium casing like you got in the originals, you're not getting it. You get this hard plastic thing, but you still get your nice beech wood ends and your nice Arturia logo on this side. The whole thing still looks nice, crisp and sharp, really. So that brings me to the end, I think. Nice bit of kit. If you did enjoy that, please think about subscribing, ring the bell, join me over on Patreon. This channel is funded by my wonderful patrons, YouTube ads and affiliate links. My patrons get access to samples, patches and tutorials, all for less than the price of a dodgy coffee a month. And also do take a look at my starskycard.com website, as well as patches and samples, things to download, things you can buy, free stuff. It's nice when people pick up the cheaper bits and bobs. It all does really help to support the channel. So thanks very much for watching and staying to the very end, and I will see you next time.